So I was invited here to talk to all of you scientists and engineers and biotech company owners about science that we use at Undercover Horticulture. And I'm not sure what AgWest Bio was thinking because I'm not a scientist and our company does not really do science or research or development. My sister Rachel and I own a greenhouse. Rachel has dabbled in science by getting a master's in plant science and worked for research a little bit. But she often says she prefers growing plants and collecting data over analyzing and writing, and does not consider herself a scientist. I'm purely non-scientist, only having trade school in greenhouse management. But you get me, so lucky you. It seems to me that there's enough non-scientists telling scientists about science, especially for the last few years, and I don't really want to contribute to that problem. But none of that is to say that we don't use science. We're nerds who own a greenhouse. We use the results that scientists have come up with over the years every day. Some scientists or engineers somewhere figured out that burning wood diverted from landfill is not perfect, but still closer to carbon neutral than burning fossil fuels. So we use a biomass boiler. There's probably scientists in this room who can explain the pathology of what happens when a leaf has too much water on it or the root zone gets too much or too little water. I can't, but I know enough to avoid those things, and so we use flood and drain tables and other hydroponic methods and custom make them for people who do science in our greenhouse. Many people are probably surprised that it's less expensive to heat a greenhouse that's bigger and has a higher area than it is to heat a small greenhouse, because you always get the humidity going up too much in a small greenhouse, and so you have to open the vents all the time and let the air out and the air in and then heat that air. And so I thank the people who found that out, but I don't know the science behind it much, except that we follow their results. So at Undercover Horticulture, we're not scientists. We kind of consider ourselves scientists, because that suffix "ist" means relating to or about something. So if scientists are about doing the scientific method, we are there to do things for scientists. So our goal is to figure out what scientists who need to do research in a greenhouse need, and how we can help them do that. It's our hypothesis that scientists generally prefer to stay home with their family on Labor Day and Christmas rather than coming to water plants. And so we do that work for the scientists who are in our greenhouse. Just imagine for a moment that you're a part of a biotech company and you need greenhouse space. I know this is a far reach for this crowd, but just bear with me. And so you get some greenhouse space somewhere, but you don't have automatic systems to water things. You don't have people to check the watering. You don't have people who are going to come at 3 in the morning when the boiler calls because there's a problem in the heating system. So we take that job on because we picture ourselves to be scientists, and we want you to let your PhD and master's people do the science while we do the support of those scientists. Thank you.